Hi Marlene, thank you so much for being patient. This is JJ or Jonelle, whichever works for you. Thank you so much for waiting while I got through those millions of readings. Um, okay, excuse me. So I just want to let you know that when I do my readings, sometimes I end up needing to do another spread, so I may do a second spread for you. It really just depends. So towards the end of the reading, I'll just check with Spirit, and if I feel like I need to continue on, then I'll do that. Otherwise, the reading would end there. Also, chances are, depending on the length, I might break this up into 2 videos for you. So either way, let's jump right in. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 areas. You asked about your career, you asked about your love life, and then you asked about your living situation. I think you really wanted to know about relocation or where best to live. I also drew one card, like this I guess is an angel card. This one has a message. And then I have then I have I guess some random cards. Not random cards, but cards that generally give an idea of what's going on. Okay, so let's look at the random cards. So what I'm seeing in these 3 cards, I'm going to try and manipulate this camera for you. You know how I roll. Alright, so let's take a look at these 3 cards. These 3 cards that came out, if you notice, they have very similar patterns, so they're mirroring in some sense. And what I'm picking up here is, I don't know if you have a fear of pregnancy in your life right now, but I'm picking up there's a fear of pregnancy. And I have to be honest, from what I'm always, I like pull this out of thin air, just as I tell all my clients, so I definitely rely on your feedback as to whether I'm right or not, okay? But that being said, I'm picking up that you are intimate with numerous men. So I feel that, and that's a message that permeates every aspect of your spread here. So I'm picking up that on a physical level, you are intimate with numerous men. And I do feel that this is monetary, so it feels a little like prostitution. At sometimes it's almost like it feels like I don't want to say high level prostitution, like maybe like what's the word, like maybe the clientele is a little bit more wealthy or financially set. That's sometimes, and then other times it just doesn't. But either way, I do feel that, and I feel that on the physical level, there seems to be this part of you that tries to kind of clamp down. I see you in this fetal ball, sort of, kind of as a self-protection method, and there's a part of you there that knows that you have to get out of that. And I think that's that part of you that has brought you here to this reading today. It's also, this is a healing situation. Actually, I'm seeing this mirrored in a card right here. So, see this part, this little glinty part, like glint, right there? That's the part of you that has brought you here today for the sake of healing. And take a look, healing. Look, there's the glinty thing. Okay? So, cool, right? I love how the cards, like, you know. I mean, listen, even if you're like, this isn't true, at least the cards corroborate each other, right? But I'm seeing here that there is a fear on your behalf of getting pregnant in one of these, I want to say the words transactions, okay? But on this level here, this is another level. It's more of the spiritual, mental, intellectual kind of cosmic level. I feel that at this level, it's all about healing, okay? The glinting is there. Healing is at the foremost. It's the first and foremost thing on your mind at this level. So imagine your higher self kind of stepping into your life and saying it's time to get healing, and now here you are at this reading. Let me just take a sip of water. Your higher self here is showing me there are a lot of shadows in your area. There are a lot of shadowy people in your area, for sure. And it's interesting when we get to this card after these 3, where your angels really set the scene about that. But Yeah, she's saying there's a lot of shadows in your general area and she wants you to get out of that situation. So she's placing you at a higher perspective. Aw, that's sweet of her. She's placing you at a higher perspective. I guess that means she's trying to get you to see things from a bigger perspective. But also, I feel that what that means is that she's going to elevate your consciousness for a time being, for a time, so that you can have the insight that you need to see where you are. Because it's almost like you're so in what you are in that you, like, it's like if you're in the forest, you just see trees from the ground, right? So she's going to elevate your consciousness a little bit so that you can see things that don't add up in your environment. So you can see people a little bit more for who they are, so that you can see contrasting environments. For example, if you see another woman walk by, somehow she'll stand out as in living in contrast to the way you're living, excuse me, and will, that'll be your higher self showing you an aspect that that woman possesses that you can possess, right? So it's instrumental, it's educational, and that's what she'll be doing. And I feel that she's going to be leading you like step by step. And it's like, so for example, I guess somehow you stumble upon this video, my video, something resonated, then you reached out for a reading, and then I give you this message, and then there'll be another sign that she gives you from somebody else, and then you'll move on to another thing, and it's just like breadcrumbs and healing, and really trying to help you get balance, because I'm seeing some mental instability. It's interesting, I didn't see mental instability in these ones, but I'm definitely seeing it here. And I don't know if you're on drugs or anything like that, but I'm just seeing that in your area right here. It's almost like I didn't see that here in the other cards, but as I'm seeing here, as I'm conversing here, I'm seeing that it's almost like drugs, like street drugs. And I'm seeing there's a little bit of mental instability. And I want to say it's like slight mental instability, but just enough to be a little bit off kilter if left unchecked. So I'm seeing that. What else? Yeah, so definitely I'm seeing drug use here, and I'm seeing the words cooking, or I'm hearing the words cooking. So I don't know if that's meth or just whatnot or whatever. So yeah, please definitely let me know if I'm off on this reading, because if so, then I'm picking up on somebody else, and then I'd have to really consider my energetic frequencies, right? And but if it's you, then awesome. Then that means you're getting the messages. Let's see. She's saying there's a storyline here. I'm feeling there's a storyline. This is the second time I'm picking up something extraterrestrial in your reading. Here I picked up something extraterrestrial, like with respect to a guy, though, in a guy who hasn't manifested for you as yet, but I'm picking up extraterrestrial here as a future potential. But I'm seeing here there's a storyline here, so I'm wondering if you have experiences with extraterrestrials here on, like, in this incarnation, or if you remember it, extraterrestrial origins, or if you're conscious of yourself being one, or just whatnot, or if you're plagued by I don't want to say demons, but like hallucinations, or just whatever. I it's just so much. So so I don't know if you have these ideas of extraterrestrials, and part of you wonders if it's true or if they're hallucinations or whatnot, but I'm just picking that up in this card here. And I'm inclined to believe that that is a true connection, the extraterrestrial connection. Can I just say ET connection? Because I'm sorry, it's so late where I am that my brain's kind of like blah. ET connection, I'm seeing that. So, I mean, as I keep going, because I mean, the cards could show me that, but it may be a reflection of mental instability, or it could really mean that those are some origins and that's part of your story. But, again, I'm just seeing ET influence, so I feel that might be a real one, okay? That might be real. Let's see, what else am I getting from that card? Yeah, I just feel that you come across as being very lonely, and that's interesting because The cards seem to suggest that you're alone. That's what I get. You're alone. So maybe you don't have family around that you are regularly in contact with, or, you know, and the friends aren't really good friends. Yeah, I'm getting vague impressions of past life stuff. Something past life here. But, just not enough to pick up on it. But I'm feeling past lifetime, and that also felt a little lonely. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. Here I'm seeing that you have been gambling, or taking a lot of gambles in your life at this time. So you might want to watch that. That's an angel message there, which leads us into this angel message. 11, number 11. So what I'm going to do is, because there is so much information in your cards, I'm going to go ahead and just read some of the stuff that I wrote here, because I wanted to make sure that I got as much as I could. So what I got is that you're acting outside of your own self-interests. That was the first thing that I picked up here. And so basically what that means is that the decisions that you're making and the lifestyle that you're living are not in your best interests. And that's something that the angels really wanted to say. They said that you are, or are picked up that you're creating many of your own problems. So I'm picking up that there are quite a few problems here that you're dealing with, and that many of them are of your own making, and that you your angels this is them. They definitely said that you need to be safe and not all alone out there. They're showing that you've been burning candles or burning bridges with or opportunities with people. So maybe people have tried to reach out to you. Maybe the angels have tried to send you opportunities for whatever, work or health or just whatnot, and you've kind of excuse me. You've kind of burned them. But they're definitely lecturing here, and angels lecture a lot, by the way. Your guides are definitely lecturing that what you're doing out there, and to me it really does come across as prostitution and like street life. I'm not sure if you're homeless or if you have spent time homeless, but there's an energy of homelessness in your field. So whether or not you actually are living on the streets at this time or are homeless at this time, or whether or not you've ever been homeless, I'm just picking up this energy that's within your field as coming across as homeless. But they're saying that they've been trying to keep you safe, but you are stepping outside of those safe places or those safe environments that they've created for you. They're saying basically that you need to come indoors and out of the streets. And again, I pick up prostitution with that. They're saying that you're too much on your own and without protection. And your guide said it's a miracle that you haven't been hurt as yet. But as they say that, they're showing that even your best defenses, because I feel like you feel that, well, I know how to take care of myself, that I have some defenses that work all the time. They're bona fide, but they're saying that even your best defenses are starting to erode. So the reason why you're having this reading is, as we said earlier, your angels and guides want to bring you healing, but they want to move you out of this space of not being healthy and not being safe, because I feel that if you don't change that, you can invite some kind of calamity or attack or just something. So it's almost like angels and guides are always with us, but through free will choices that they can't interact with, it can't overstep. We can sometimes be hurt. And sometimes they really try to reel us in. They try to give us safe houses, help us to understand what's going on with us. And sometimes we just push them away or we don't listen. And I feel that that's what's going on here. And they're trying to warn you and tell you that you are outside of not their ability to protect you, but they have to work through people here on earth. So when you hear about miracles like angels stepping in and stuff, that's under very special circumstances where it's kind of like not going to serve your life lesson to experience that event. But what they're saying is that, you know, that's not your case. So you could really truly get hurt out there, and because you're outside of the safe situations that they've tried to create for you, and they can't just step in and interrupt your lessons, because if you don't listen as they're warning you here, then that in itself is an indication of needing to learn a lesson about listening and self-care. Okay. What else did they say? I want to make sure I got everything I wrote down. They're saying that, oh, excuse me. They're saying, like, in very strong language, basically, they're saying get help and quit dragging your feet. But as I say that, it's almost like I feel that's also you telling yourself that. And when I say you, I don't mean you here at this level, this higher level. I mean you here at this lower level, the you that would be listening to this video. And as I'm hearing that, I'm hearing like a split brain, sort of. Like one part of you is still caught up in living this life and the drugs and prostitution and being out there. And then there's another part of you that is still at that same level, that's like saying get help, you know, and quit dragging your feet. It's like you talking to you, but on the same level. It's really interesting. Okay? And I think that has to do with this drug use. Okay? So do let me know if this reading is resonating with you, but this drug use, because it's both of it, it's you, but when people take drugs, they kind of step outside of themselves a little bit, right? Or a lot, so to speak. And so there are two parts of you. This is that sober one, and then there's that one that does the drugs, so to speak. So this sober one that is kind of still with you says, hey, you know, we need to get help and we need to quit dragging our feet. Okay? Your angels are saying that your methods of self-protection are shoddy at best. That's what they're showing. They're saying that you're thinking about traveling, right? You're thinking of traveling and bringing these practices with you. These practices, again, I'm seeing prostitution. It's almost like you're looking to relocate somewhere to find a new place, but you would bring these activities along for the journey with you. Okay. Yeah, and I'm just picking up it's almost like you don't want to listen. I mean, you want to listen, obviously you bought this and whatnot, but there's a part of you that doesn't want to listen. So I'm seeing here in your career situation, I'm seeing here that it's like you might feel stagnant, like you're sitting here trying to get started on something, but nothing is coming. You haven't really, you know, done much. There's no real job, or whatever job you do have, it's just odd. It's out there. But you know what? I do, again, pick up this prostitution as a job that you have, that you're engaged in. And it's, in that sense, I see you depending on yourself a lot and to protect yourself. They're also saying that there are a lot of immature men around you. I feel like you come across as being more mature and smarter than a lot of these men that you're dealing with, right? And it's... Oh, excuse me. These guys, they want their mommies that's coming across. They're like, they want their mommies, and so because of that, they're looking for women, you know, you're looking for women to have sex with, but what they're really looking for is nurturing. They don't know how to get it. And I just want you to know, I mean, this came through, but maybe you're like, maybe you care or not, but the angel said that God cares for these men as well, like takes care of them, okay? So I see in this card here that you have a really keen interest for the divine, but you're not necessarily focused on that at this time. In fact, you ended up at this reading because you were attracted to it. There was something that attracted you. I feel like you're attracted to beauty or something. Just, I mean, not that, I mean, just things that are beautiful, things that are trinkets, like things that are shiny. Not, it doesn't have to be, but just something that naturally attracts your eye, right? You're attracted to. So I picked up that you were interested in something that attracted your eye to the video, whichever video you watched, and that led you to this reading. But I do see that you do have this interest in the divine, but at the same time you have like a curious mind. You like to know how things work, and it doesn't have to necessarily be of the divine. Okay, I see that you're afraid to leave your chosen profession. That's what came through. In other words, you're afraid to leave this prostitution or whatever it is that I'm picking up here. And the reason why is, even though you spend a lot of time out there in the streets or just out there, I think that if you were to leave this profession and try something else, I think there's a fear that you have that that would be really going out there. Like that would be more foreign and more scary for you, because it's something that is different from what you're used to. So I'm seeing that you've never truly been comfortable with where you are now, right? Oh wait, let's not. Should we jump there yet? Either way, I just feel that you're afraid to leave that kind of life behind, because it's almost like it would be so different. You wouldn't know what to do with it, right? But I do see here, in terms of career, I'm seeing that you... Oh, wait. Yeah, I just want to point out one more thing. That if you ever do step outside of your prostitution or just whatever it is that I'm picking up here, it still isn't so different from what you're doing, right? It's not like you would one day get up and say, I'm done with this, I'm going to go back to school, or I'm going to work in a bank as a teller. It's always something that's kind of similar but different, right? Now I see that you tend to have a goodness inside of you, and yeah, and they're saying yes, you do. And I feel that that goodness is what makes you somebody who would be good with kids. Like, say, as a nanny. I don't know what experience you have with kids, if you've had much. But I feel that you would be really good with being entrusted with kids. Especially in the case where the mother and father are, like, still in love and they're young and they could go away together and spend time together, and that's still a connection. I feel that that happy household, like things are running well, you would come in and it'd be like kind of a gift to those parents to be able to take the kids off of their hands for a little bit. Like, it would just be a good situation. Let me just drink some water here. Okay. Yeah, excuse me. I just feel like that's a gift that you would almost, like, a gift you'd give to the family, really. And it's a blessing. I feel that you shine brightly when you are in that job or that mode. So I don't know how you feel about working with children in a manny, what am I saying? Oh my God, excuse me. As a nanny or something like that. A manny's a male nanny. As a nanny. Either way, I just feel like when you get to this healing space and you're all good and whatnot, I just feel like that would be something you can explore. Okay, so let's move on. In your love life, I see that there's nobody there. I'm not picking up anybody, and if you are with somebody, I just don't know if they're really that much, because they're not really resonating. But what I did pick up in a future potential, so to speak, is I just feel like maybe you might date a guy who is an extraterrestrial, either an ET in origin, but he walks the earth just like other human beings. You know, he incarnated here, but he remembers where he's from, you know, like starseeds, blah, blah, blah. Or he could very well be somebody who does come and visit here during this lifetime as a traveler. but I do see something ET related, and I'd love to know how you feel about that. I do see, I feel here that you're sad, that there's some sadness around not having somebody. If it's not you, then maybe it's your guides who maybe wanted you to have somebody, or maybe you had somebody in the past and this person isn't there anymore. But I just do see some sadness in you not having somebody. Um, let's see, what else? Yeah, I feel that you could be rewarded with love if you allow yourself to leave your comfort zone. Um, if you can allow yourself to leave your comfort zone and step out and do different things and not just kind of stay in the same bubble, then that would be great. That would be great. But I do see that there's no love at this time in your area. Instead, I feel that you are the object of love, so to speak, in the sense that I just see a lot of men around you like leering. They have untrusty eyes. They're just filled with this lust and passion, but and they're like projecting all that onto you. It's kind of gross, but um I'm shown that you're really incompatible with that lifestyle. With this lifestyle that I'm picking up here, you're very incompatible for it. With it. It's not you. I hope that makes sense. It's just not you by nature. And I see here that you're not very comfortable with living that life either. It's almost like you're acting and really you just feel abandoned and scared to leave, you know. Um, hmm. It's almost like you feel abandoned by friends or family or anybody, and the friends you have around you just are not good friends. But you're scared to leave, and the reason why you're afraid to leave is because you don't know what to expect in the unknown, like we said earlier. Like, for example, try for a bank teller position, but I feel like you'd be too afraid to do that because of, I guess, I guess you don't know what to expect, right? Yeah, but I do see that you want to climb out of this life to transform it. In another card here, when it comes to, yeah, I'm seeing that maybe you can tell me if this resonates, but I'm seeing that there's a part of you that wants to learn. You like learning, like I see you like science, you like to learn things. But the men around you don't see you for who you are. Instead, they pick up on your sexual availability, no matter how old this guy is, right? Um, and these guys tend to be guys who maybe professionals, business professionals, uh, instructors, right? I just feel like you want to learn. Like, imagine if you're in a class and you're just trying to learn, you're asking the teacher questions, and then you start to notice that he's hovering over you in like a sexualized way, or that he's being inappropriate, and you're like, dude, I just came here for this class. I didn't ask to have all this happen. I feel that that's because there's something in your energy field that attracts these guys. Um, so you have to, so it's almost like you can't be taken seriously, even though you've been wanting to be taken seriously. I feel that you have to close the door to this kind of male energy. You have to get clear. Okay? You have to get clear and close the door to that. I'm seeing that you're like a magnet for dirty men in good positions. But I want to let you know that real men are, from what I'm seeing in these cards, it's almost like real men notice you too. But I think that real men are intimidated to talk to you. And I guess they see you in a way that it's like they see you in a certain way where you are over sexualized. They over sexualize you. And the men who, how could I say it? No, that's not it. Sorry. Let me reread that. What it is the real men that are attracted to you, they may want to talk to you and they see you and they think that you're attractive, but they can see that you're caught in a cycle where you are playing out this over-sexualized, I guess, energy. And it's that over-sexualization and sexual availability that attracts dirty guys. And the next thing, they're like leering over you, right? But good guys who are just normal guys, and they see you and they're interested in you, either they see that cycle in you and they keep it pushing because they're like, I don't want to have to deal with that, or yeah, or maybe that's, yeah. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, they want to talk to you, but I think that they don't want to. They could see that you still have more work to do in terms of building those boundaries, and for some of them it just may be a little bit of a turn off because they want to have an equal there and not somebody who is still working through boundary issues and whatnot. But you know what? Aren't we all? Yeah. Let's see. I think that some of these good guys also may not be able to see you because I think based on these cards, you feel like you're not comfortable with intimacy, and so like they pick up on that. Like these guys want to have, they would one day want to have a girlfriend, right? And so if the girl isn't open, then they would see it just kind of like as a waste of time. So they kind of don't, that's one reason why they may not come around as much. Anyway, so what, let's see, I want to make sure I don't leave something out. Let me check my notes. Yeah, your angels are saying to make sure that you focus now, because there's a real opportunity for you to really shift this time using all of your resources, right? Because I see you want to relocate, but the real relocation is inside of you. It's an inside job, and that's one of the biggest lessons for you to take away from this reading. Yeah. I'm picking up your friends. I see you hanging out with a group of friends or having a group of friends, but at the same time you're nothing like them. It's almost like you guys are together based on sexual bounds. Like maybe there's something you guys are doing together. I just feel like it's in the streets. Like maybe you guys are walking the streets or just whatever this is. There seems to be a group there, but I just pick up that you're nothing like them. You're just different. You're not like them. But you try to act like you're part of the group, but you're not. I just feel like these people are double crossers and losers. I mean, those are words that came to mind when I was reading. Your real kind of friends like just seem like 180 from these kinds of guys, so, and women. So I just feel that you really want out of this situation on some level. I'm feeling that you really want to get out of this situation, and Spirit is saying it's totally a possibility. It's totally a possibility. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I'm wondering if I should do another spread, and part of me would like to be honest, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take a pause though. Alright, so if I do another video, you will see it and it'll say video 2. But this is what I'm picking up for you, Marlene. I do feel that this is a really great opportunity for you to have healing in your life. But you do need to connect with your angels and your guides, and they're saying that you really do need to secure a safe space for yourself, because they just feel that you're not safe enough right now, okay? And from there, you can build upon everything else. Yeah, so at this time, I'm still not sure whether I'm going to have a second video. So just in case I only have this one video, please feel free to reach me with any questions that you have. You might have questions. And honestly, Marlene, I need you to let me know if this resonates at all, because again, it's very cohesive, which tells me that it is resonating, but I just want to be sure that you can connect to that, okay? All right, Marlene, I will wait to hear from you. Bye.